Welcome back, everyone. I'm Layla.
And I'm Laura.
And this is For Your Penjoyment, a show about fountain pens and the joys they bring us.
Brought to you by Pen Boutique.
So how are you doing today, Laura?
Wow, you seem intense today, Layla.
Well, since the theme is Go Rogue, I was expecting you to have a borderline meltdown with this question.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But how I'm doing. Actually, I was thinking about how I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling kind of weird, like, for the past couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's spring.
Right.
And I really love spring. Spring's my favorite time of year.
Mm-hmm.
I love when, like, nature starts to wake up and you see, like, the really subtle, just, like, all the trees are brown, and then you see these really subtle colors coming into them, like the beautiful, really light green. It's like a yellowish green.
Yeah.
And it just sort of overcomes them. And then, like, maple trees start getting this, like, just a little hint of red.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the kind of thing that I associate with spring, but I'm very conflicted because here in Maryland, spring comes, like, way too early for what feels like should be time for spring for me, because I'm from Connecticut.
Right.
And, like, I was looking at some photos on my Facebook, like, memories, and it was like, oh, there's snow all over the ground on this day. And it's just so weird for me, you know, reconciling all the trees are flowering here now. It's just, like, beautiful, blooming
bloom,
everywhere.
right.
But it feels like kind of a cheat or something. Like we didn't suffer long enough. We
didn't earn this spring.
I don't know, and I feel really weird about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, spring is really special. It's just, yeah.
I like the birth of everything.
I always, like, really look forward to it, and it's just, you know, I don't know. There's something just really moving and wonderful about spring.
I hear you.
That it stirs up a lot of emotions for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to be so deep or something.
You went rogue. I didn't expect it.
And I went rogue. How are you doing, Layla?
No!
Hey, that's my line.
I went rogue. Sorry. Actually, I'm quite all right. Thank you for asking.
We're both feeling a little bit under the weather, like we might have slight colds or something.
We're on the border of something.
It's part of why we're going rogue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what pen are you using today, Laura?
Well, I am using my vintage
I love this pen.
Pilot Elite.
Yes.
Which I put in Arishizuku Murasaki Shukibu, which
That's
is
a
that
beautiful
beautiful
purple.
It's the perfect spring purple.
Mm-hmm.
It's like on the lighter side of purples that I would use because I don't like really, really light inks. And you really see that beautiful purpleness. It's just like the color that I associate with.
Yeah.
Really, I guess I would say April for me because I'm like a month behind or so from being from Connecticut. It's so beautiful. Mm-hmm. And I recently found out a super cool thing about my E95S's/Elites. I was looking at the nib really close, and I noticed it has this little number down at the bottom that you can see because of the way the nib, you know, is inlaid. So you see the lower part of the nib.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's this number? And I asked Bill from Pilot, and he told me the number, which is written on your Elite too, they all have it, is a number that shows when that nib was manufactured.
Holy moly.
So you know when your pen's birthday is.
I love that detail. I'm going to have to go
so
home and look
cool.
at mine.
So I looked at my first E95S, which is the burgundy and ivory one.
Right.
And it had the number 818 on it, which means it was born in August 2018.
Yeah.
And then my black one said 819. So it was 1 year younger.
That's pretty cool.
And this one, my vintage one, said H1175, which means It was manufactured at the, I might be pronouncing this wrong, Hiratsuka factory.
Okay.
Facility.
Very nice.
And it was made in November 1975.
That is so cool.
Isn't that so cool? I had no idea. Like, I had these pens for years and never noticed that detail or knew what it meant. It's really cool.
I love that.
You got to look at yours so we can find out.
I will.
Its birthday.
I will update you as soon as I take a peek. That's very neat.
What pen do you have?
I am using my Esterbrook JR
So
in
sparkly.
Fantasia. I'm feeling like I need some sparkle today, so here we
Yes.
are. She's a beautiful little writer, filled with Konpeki.
Very nice.
I can't complain.
I love how it was just sitting on the table and you could see the sparkles.
Just glistening.
It doesn't have to move around or be in special light. It's sparkly.
It's a really
all the
special
time.
pen.
Very nice.
So,
Yes.
we've got a lot of new stuff in store.
Yeah, we got cool new stuff again.
We sure do.
We do.
So, new stuff in store.
New stuff. Not old stuff.
Not
like
old
this
stuff.
pen.
That pen is so beautiful,
Too
though.
old.
We've got a new color on an old favorite. Starting us off, we have
Ooh.
the Diplomat Arrow in Midnight
This
Blue.
is my first time seeing this. I like it.
It's got great depth of color.
It's glossy like the new white one.
Mhm.
I
Got that
like that
gloss finish
glossiness. That's really
and a little bit of
cool.
shimmer when you look at it closely.
Really? Oh, let me see it. Oh, wow. This is a lot cooler in person than it was in the photos that
I
I saw
agree.
a preview. I really like that.
Now we have this pen in this particular color available in fountain pen, ballpoint, and rollerball. She's a beauty.
I think they should come up with a glossy, like dark purple.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
That would be really nice.
I love that idea.
I do really like this, though, a lot more than I expected to. That's really beautiful.
Same. When I heard, another blue, I didn't really get excited.
Yeah.
This is
But
nice.
in person.
This is a very nice addition.
Yeah, it's really sophisticated.
That's the perfect word.
Yeah.
We also have, once again, a new release from Sailor.
Another one?
Another one. They just keep churning them out. We have
Oh, yes.
the Iris Nebula available in professional gear and professional gear slim sizes. I love this particular color.
Yes, you told me you were really excited to see this.
Yes, absolutely.
You got when we saw the emails telling us it was coming, you were like, "Ah!"
My eyes kind of bugged out of my head a little. Very beautiful, moody. Again, those I guess those deep blues are making a statement this season.
Could be friends with this pen.
Oh, it could definitely be friends with my Fantasia for sure.
Yes, it's almost as sparkly, not quite.
Not quite, but yeah, you're
and
absolutely
it's a little
right.
bit of a. This is more like a bright and cheerful, friendly color, and this is a more
This might be skulking in the corner.
skulking. How could you skulk while being sparkly, though?
You can be a goth kid in high school.
Oh, it's like one of those vampires in the series that I didn't read,
I didn't read it either.
but
They
they're supposed
sparkle
to
in
be
the sun.
sparkly, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Very
Huh,
nice.
so the barrel is very translucent. Is the cap translucent?
The cap is
too?
also translucent,
not
but
very
it's
much.
so deeply colored you can't really
I
tell.
really like the color of the cap.
I agree. It's a beautiful pen.
Yeah, very nice.
Next up,
Ooh, more sparkles.
new release from Narwhal. We've got the model Voyage in the spring.
The spring, yes, not just spring.
Not just spring, the spring.
Wow.
And I think it's a beauty.
Wow.
Like you've got hues of light green, dark green, light blue, dark blue. You've got matching metal components. The nib matches all the metal details here.
And it's got that color I was talking about, the very first leaf color that you see, that yellowish,
nice spring,
yellowish green. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
I think she's a beauty.
It's really pretty. I'm not, as you know, a swirly person, but yeah, that's really beautiful.
Absolutely.
I like that.
There's a little bit of opalescence in the tealy shades. You turn it, and
Oh, yeah,
there's
when
this
you
beautiful
move that.
shift in color.
Wow.
I'm a fan.
That's gorgeous. And it's got the same color trim
As
as the
spring
other one that we
demonstrator.
sold out on
Almost
practically right
instantly,
away.
yeah. Absolutely. So if you were looking for a pen with that particular metal detail, the Voyage and the Spring might be your speed.
It's cool. It's a really different shade of green, too. I can't think of any other pens besides that one that has that color.
It's not like your traditional, like, Kelly green, anything like that. Like, this is really something.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, next up, we have the newest limited edition for Regatta from Monteverde.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Harlequin.
That is so cool.
Now, I loved my Mondrian Regatta.
Mm-hmm.
The bold graphic print of the Harlequin strikes me in the same way. I'm in love.
Wow.
And I'm trying to stop myself from acquiring this pen. Pumping the brakes very harshly.
And it matches your nails.
It definitely matches my nails.
You've got black and like with a little like diamond sparkles thingy on there.
Yep. It's a beautiful pen.
Wow.
And I've been like pleasantly surprised by Monteverde. I think my Regatta is a great writer. I use it almost every day. So.
I like that they chose the Harlequin character too. That's so
agree.
cool. It's really interesting.
I didn't expect
gives
it.
the pen kind of a personality, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's really neat.
So we have it available in fountain pen and rollerball. They are limited edition, so they are numbered.
Ooh.
It's on the bottom.
Very nice.
Very cool pen. Lovely concept. I really like it.
And you've been using
My Regatta?
a lot recently.
A lot.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised
And you
with
love
it.
how it writes. I always see you using it in the stores.
I didn't expect such a smooth medium nib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Happy.
Very nice.
Happy. We have the rare rollerball sighting on For Your Penjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the new Retro 51 release, Alice in Wonderland.
Oh my gosh.
Conceptually beautiful pen.
This is crazy.
Here, take a look at it.
I love the color of the trim on here.
That beautiful,
I
like,
didn't
icy
look
blue.
at this closely until now. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to describe it as. Icy blue. It's a really unusual shade of
With
blue.
the contrasting red details in the pen.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's perfect. The top is so cool.
This would be very useful in our silly segment.
Hypnotism. Now, unlike the...
And this part.
That's
Like
Now, usually retros come in that iconic cylindrical packaging. The Alice in Wonderland comes in more of a book.
That's so different.
It is very different.
Wow.
When you open it up, you have your space for the pen, but you also have a bookmark that they include, which I love that.
Love it. These graphics are so crazy.
They're spot on for Alice in Wonderland.
Especially the Fisher cat. Those eyes.
They nailed it.
He looks insane.
Absolutely.
I love it. And I love this watch. It looks insane, too.
Agreed.
It's very psychedelic. Oh, my gosh. When you move it around, look at that.
The shift, the holographic,
like,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
don't
it
forget,
glows in the dark.
That is so wild.
I love
so,
it.
like, all the white parts glow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is really cool.
I'm very happy about this release. I think it's just really cool. I might have to
I know.
try a retro out.
Wow.
I mean, I'm primarily a fountain pen user, but this is stunning.
Yeah, and Alice in Wonderland is such an awesome series.
Yes, absolutely. We've got the new Springfield notes.
I didn't know we had an open package.
I'm buying it on Friday.
I need to borrow it from you so I can take pictures for my blog.
Totally fine. I love a good bold graphic print, and the Spring Flora collection does not disappoint.
These are beautiful.
Absolutely. You got that one.
I like this pink and the orange and the like coral-y kind of orangey pink color
and
together.
this tealy shade's very interesting
and this
as well.
purple. Yeah, really, all the colors together are really nice.
I'm very excited to break them in.
Wow. And don't forget to mention this cool detail.
Mm-hmm.
This one's lined.
Right.
This one's dot grid.
And that
this
one's
one's blank. I like that.
It's nice to have some
I know.
options with your field notes. It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
So, we have a big announcement.
We do?
We're finally carrying Wearing Gold ink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We do.
Well, I know that, but I forgot it was a big announcement.
So, We originally ordered 20 colors. So this is our starter collection of Wear and Goal. I imagine the colors we carry will expand in the near future. We're just trying it out, seeing if our customer base likes it.
Now, have you ever used Wear and Goal inks yourself?
I have not.
Neither have I.
I mean, what I've seen online
Yeah.
has been stunning.
I love that they're inspired by literature and what else, like myth and various things like that. It's really
so cool.
intriguing, like the characters and the books and the colors that they came up with.
I wonder how I would love to be a fly on the wall during like the brainstorming process.
Yeah,
that seems really cool.
Now, where does Wear and Goal come from?
I do believe they're Korean.
Yeah, I think that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see which ones we picked out.
So we each picked out 2 of our favorites that we swatched. I will go first. I picked out Juliet, this beautiful coral with shimmer.
Okay, I've got the swatches here. I want to look at the swatch.
Yeah, please.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And like usually I don't gravitate toward pinks this light, but in the swatch it's still a very legible pink. So I'm quite content with that.
Yeah, it's a very soft, pretty color, but I love the shimmer in there. That's a really beautiful combination.
Special.
Yes. That's cool.
Let's see one of yours. Let's see what you picked.
Hey everyone, Layla here. Just wanted to pop in with a little editor's note. Something happened to the video when we were recording the segment about inks, and we lost 2 of the colors that we mentioned during the recording. We mentioned Phantom of the Opera and Dracula, 2 wonderful Wear and Goal colors. But for some reason, the footage got eaten up. So I'm just stitching this in where we left off. Bye.
Oh, yes. I chose as my other color Heimdall.
This beautiful orange.
Yeah.
I love it.
Is that like the color of Heimdall's eyes?
I
Doesn't he
wonder.
have eyes that are like a cool orangey color? The
You may be
all-seeing
right.
eyes
The
of
all-seeing.
Heimdall. And I love Norse mythology, so that really excites me. Maybe they'll come out. They don't have a Loki color, do they?
I don't know. That's a great
Get
question.
on it. We need a Loki. We need a Loki. I love Loki. This is interesting.
I'm loving this. Along with the Wear and Goal inks, we now carry Wear and Goal swatch cards.
Yeah. With a little picture of an ink bottle, right? That you can...
And also the Wear and Goal swatch book.
Yeah, and Lena tried out the swatch book. She really liked it.
Oh, that's promising.
Yeah, did you see her post? She tried it with the Lamy Dark Lilac, both versions, and the Violet Blackberry, comparing all the 3.
I did see that.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's fun if you want a new way of doing swatches in the Wear and Goal book.
I mean, I want to streamline my swatches because I have given away a lot of inks.
Yeah.
So I bought some cards. I'm going to redo the ones that I intend on keeping. Kind of excited about all of this. I'm like, ooh, new playthings. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey everyone. We're popping in for a second editor's note. So it looks like I screwed up. I may or may not have hit record, or alternately, the camera ate the footage. Either way, we don't have the segue that we intended to have into the Q&A portion of the episode. So, take it away, ladies. Bye.
Okay. You have both clearly been involved with fountain pens for some time. We're both ancient. Can you talk about what you've learned? I am speaking for myself.
You said we're both ancient.
Oh, I'm ancient. I don't know about you. Can you talk about what you've learned? If you knew when you started what you know now, what would you do differently? Any regrets?
Well, first of all, I regret nothing.
Yeah, that was my initial reaction. No regrets. I don't believe in regrets.
Shall I pick one?
Yep.
All right. Joanne Harrington 8461.
Okay.
Thank you for another great episode. I am beginning the journey of learning about fountain pens, and the episode was helpful, but also brought up questions.
Okay.
1, you both shared being embarrassed about having so many pens inked up.
Ooh.
Is that because the pen nib gets messed up if it isn't being used for a while? It can.
Yeah.
What is the recommended amount of pens to keep inked? We're the wrong people to ask that question.
I don't think there is really a recommended
There's
number.
no right or wrong. It's all
No.
about what you can handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right before this episode, I looked to see how many I currently have inked. It was a little bit less than I did when we did that episode. I currently have 17 inked, which again, I feel
we
like
were in
is
the 20s
way
last
too many.
episode. Yeah.
But yes, the reason that I was kind of embarrassed by the high number is it's hard to use that many pens at the same time. And if you have all these pens inked but don't use them often, the nib could start to like dry out or get cruddy, need cleaning if it just sits.
Yeah.
And I have pens like that I feel like this pen is really special to me and this ink is really special to me. I must have this pen inked with this ink at all times, even though I don't actually use it that often, which maybe is a little silly because it sits in my pen tray. And depending on the pen, maybe it'll start writing beautifully the minute I pick it up, but maybe it won't.
Right.
So,
No, I hear you.
and that's something that varies a lot from pen to pen, like how good the seal is in the cap, and also just like the way the ink behaves in the pen,
Yes.
whether it'll just start writing immediately after sitting. And it's not like it's a terrible thing if it doesn't. It doesn't mean it's a bad pen or a bad ink. I mean, I don't write a pen off just because I'll pick it up sometimes and it's dry.
Right.
It's okay. I mean, it's a fountain pen.
Yeah.
It's a little bit retro, a little bit, it's not an electronic thing that it should always be perfectly behaved. That's part of the quirk of it, So if I need to dip a pen in water sometimes to get it started, that's fine with me. I don't care.
With that. Yeah.
But yeah, it can. I mean, that's basically why I feel like. What about you?
I mean, there's some inks that can really gunk up your nib and feed.
Yeah.
Shimmers and sheening inks especially. And I will admit, my pen hygiene as of late has not been the best. And I have a gunky pen or two.
Yeah.
I invested in an ultrasonic cleaner.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're going to nip that in the bud soon. But again, the amount of pens you have inked is as many as you can handle at any given time. Or else you're stuck cleaning 20 pens like me. The second part to this question, if I do want to switch out the ink in a pen, what do I do with the ink that might be remaining in the converter or cartridge? Does it just get tossed, or is there a cap that can be placed to protect the ink from drying out?
Ooh, that's really interesting because
we recently came across a product that does just
Yeah.
that. It caps partially used cartridges.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and we were gonna see if we could get that. Right?
Yeah, we were thinking about carrying that in the
It's like
store.
a little brass thing that screws into the cartridge, the top, to seal it so that you can set the cartridge aside and use it more later.
Absolutely. I thought that was such a cool discovery.
I thought that was really cool because I do sometimes pull out a cartridge and try to save the rest for later by putting some tape over the top or something. But it's a little iffy to have a cartridge around that's not really sealed. And
Yeah. Otherwise, if it's in a converter, I just toss it out.
yeah.
I'm not married to it. I have very few inks that have sentimental value in that way, so get rid of it. All right, let's pick a question.
I want this one. All right. Here we go. This one is from WGWC. The two of you have infectious giggles, and I am here for every moment of it.
Oh.
The princess pens you showed are beautiful, But I must say to everyone to go see them at the store. Agreed. They are even more beautiful in person. Question for the two of you, please. Everyone swatches ink slightly differently. How do you swatch? What do you use? Where do you put your swatches? How many do you have right now? What is your favorite in each color? Roy G. Biv.
This is an intense question.
It is. And this person is a new customer.
Yes, we had the pleasure of meeting her a
really
few weeks ago.
enjoyed meeting her.
Yes, definitely.
So part of this question we already did talk about in our 17 ink questions episode. Do you want to review what we already said? Or
I mean, for me, I have a little rodeo notepad. That's where I keep every single swatch of every ink I've encountered.
But you said you were going to redo it.
Exactly. So now you've caught me at a point in time in which I want to shake things up a little bit. I've given away so many inks that it's really hard to find current, relevant ones in that little notepad.
Yeah.
So I got a package of the Wearingeul swatch cards.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to get a hole puncher. I'm going to keep him on a key ring.
Okay.
And I'm going to organize them Roy G. Biv style.
I should have brought over my gigantic pile as a prop.
Yes. Do you want to get it?
Okay.
All right.
BRB.
do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Okay, I have to get back in the same position. Is this the same position?
Yep.
Okay.
Whoa, welcome back.
So, speaking of not as organized as I want to be, I use the color ring. So this is how it comes. It comes on a little ring here.
Yeah.
But I have so many of them at this point
Oh my
that
God.
they're like overwhelming. And at one point I attempted to put them in color order, but then I keep pulling them out for like this show or my blog, and then I don't put them back where I pulled them from, so they're really mixed up. And
Oh gosh.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, I got a ton.
I mean, this is after
They're
like
wonderful.
years of collecting inks,
The
right?
ones on this ring, oops, those are just the ones I did for my blog on Mont Blanc inks.
Ah.
So these are all the Mont Blanc inks on here,
I see.
which I don't actually own very many of. All the other ones are ones that I own.
Wow.
Plus, I have a zillion that I haven't swatched yet.
You're really living
But-
up to your Instagram username.
Yeah. But
That's
yeah,
wild.
the way I make these is, I'm trying to just hold up one as an example. So this part, I get a paintbrush and go starting out with more ink here, and it sort of runs out as I write it. And then I get a syringe and I drop from above splotches, so they get that sort of cool splotchy shape.
Nice.
And if it's a pen with a lot of sheen, that's going to show in the splotches. And then I'll write the name of the ink and the brand with
That's so
a
nice.
pen or a dip pen. I haven't been completely consistent about
Right.
using the same one every time. But yeah, I really like how they turn out, and I really like referring to them. They're really useful to me, and I love just looking at them.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I don't know, they're really cool. I'd be
I love
very
that.
upset if I lost these or,
Oh God.
you know, I mean, put a lot of time into these.
Of course. It's a
So.
labor of love.
Yeah, that's the way I do mine.
Now here's the meat of the question, in my
The Roy
opinion.
G. Biv.
The Roy G. Biv.
Agreed. I got
This
kind of
is
excited about that
An
question.
intense question.
I like that a lot.
I'm incapable of picking a single favorite.
Me either. I almost wanted to rip that part up and stomp on it.
Same.
But then I decided it's okay. I'll just pick a rainbow for right now, and it's not my official all-time rainbow.
Exactly.
Just, yeah.
This rainbow is subject to change at present.
You know what? I just noticed your necklace kind of goes with this. It reminds me of the swatch cards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even though it's not in rainbow order, it's still...
It's so reminiscent.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Okay, so... All right, this is the rainbow that I went with, and it's just my right now rainbow, but... And I added a few extra colors, as did you.
Yes, I did.
You gave permission to do this.
I certainly did.
It was your fault.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I started with pink, and I chose Sailor Ink Studio 731
It's
for the
beautiful.
pink. Then I did red, Monteverdi Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that ruby. It's very intense. I do not use this in a pen, though, but I use it for art. I like that a lot for art. For orange, I chose Sailor Kinmuse Mokuse. I don't know how to pronounce it. What would you say?
Kim Mokuse.
Okay. Very intense, beautiful orange. It has nice
There's some
sheen.
pinkish
Yeah, it's got
action going
like
on.
glossy sheen.
It's
It's
beautiful.
very pretty. It was really hard for me to pick a yellow because I don't use yellow inks in my pens much.
Right.
I chose Diamine 150th Anniversary Golden Honey.
It's beautiful. Very nice.
Okay, for green,
Uh-huh.
I chose Anderillium Spirula Green. I
It's such a good
love this
green.
really bright, beautiful, happy green color. I have other greens I like a lot, but this one stands out to me. Blue, well, I picked like a turquoisey blue too.
Yeah.
Waterman-inspired blue.
Yeah, I know you love that
I
one.
love that one. Then I picked a more blue, Colorverse Supernova.
That's on my list, too.
It's got that crazy red sheen.
Crazy red
really
sheen.
Beautiful color.
Mm-hmm.
Then we both agreed to add a petrol.
Yeah.
Because we love petrol. So this is kind of in between blue. Wait a sec. I'm out of order. Aren't I? I don't know. I am. That should be near green, but I don't care because it looked pretty next to the purple one. Whatever. Anderillium Colossal Squid Dark.
I love it.
That's my petrol.
Mm-hmm.
I have other petrols I love too, but
Sure.
it's one of my faves. And then this is a stunt card here. My real choice here is the new Lamy Dark Lilac, which I have not swatched yet, but I'm going to do it before we take the pictures.
Very nice.
This is my swatch for the original.
I love it.
So here's my rainbow. Let me hold it up for you. How's that?
It's beautiful.
There it is.
I love it.
I don't know why I put the petrol in that spot, but it looks good. All right. Do yours.
Yes. All right, mine. This was difficult. Because, all right, first of all, red ink. I have not a phobia. I am disinterested in red ink.
Yeah, same.
It's trauma based. I'm not gonna lie. Tough grader in high school always use red ink. It triggers me. I'm not gonna use it.
That's not my reason, but I agree. It's not my fave.
Yeah, but if I had to use red inks, these are the red ones I would use.
Okay.
Rouge Hematite from Jacques Herbin.
That's a shimmer one. It's very
Because
unusual.
the only acceptable reds to me are shimmers
Right.
or like wine colored reds.
Sure.
We also have Firefly by Diamine. Another red with gold
And
shimmer.
that one's sort of, orangey because of the gold shimmer. I could picture these in my head, which is cool.
And I didn't know which category to throw this one in, but I decided it was more red than purple. Yamabudo.
Yes.
That's a solid red right there.
I don't know if I would call it a red. That's a bit of a cheat.
It's a wine. And,
It's a wine. It's a wine.
to me it leaned a little more red. Not Crayola red, but reddish. Red
Okay,
enough.
Fine. Well, we are going roads.
We are
We'll
going
let you
rogue.
get away with this.
Another Jacques Herbin ink to show up on my list. Coraline d'Egypte.
Oh.
That beautiful orange shimmer.
Wait a second. I thought we were supposed to pick one for each color.
I'm on orange. That's the only orange I picked.
But you mentioned 3 reds.
I can't decide. I'm going rogue.
You are so rogue. All right, go ahead.
All right. A new favorite for yellow, since I don't typically write with yellow because it's mostly illegible. A star-spattered hill from Wearingeul.
Oh, yeah.
Is this beautiful yellow with a gold shimmer. Green was another, like,
Hard
toss
to
up.
choose. Yeah.
Like, I have 3 diamond inks that I just love because they're all over the place.
Yes.
I like Apple Glory.
Me too. It's so bright.
It's so happy.
Yeah, very happy. Love it.
Yes, I love Delamere green and I love Sherwood green for different reasons.
What's Delamere like? A really
like
dark one?
It's darker, it's blue toned.
Okay,
Blue-tone green.
interesting.
And then Emerald de Chavour.
Which
Once
I have
again.
not tried yet.
It's a stunner.
I know. It's very
so pretty. I'll have to
popular.
give you a sample. Do you have a sample at home?
No, I don't want to try it. It's one of those things.
too
Because
hyped.
it's too popular.
Too hyped.
I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
want to do it. I'm against popular things.
For blue, we got Colorverse Supernova, Konpeki,
Very nice.
and Diamond Steel Blue.
Oh, you are a big cheater. I forced myself to only pick one thing.
Can't hold me back. Nope.
All
Do what I
right,
want.
so
And then my
keep
honorable
going, keep
mention
going.
category of teals and petrels.
Yes.
DC Super Show Teal from
You
Monteverde.
mentioned that one.
Yamadori and Kujaku.
Very nice.
And then for purple, because I
See-
skipped indigo altogether because
Yeah, and for some reason we put the petrol next to purple.
Yeah.
We both did it.
we both did it. I couldn't find an indigo that I love, so I just didn't.
Yeah.
Lastly, Waterman Tender Purple is like the tried and true favorite, and Lammy Dark Lilac is
Yeah.
the new hotness.
Right.
So I picked 2.
So when I was trying to pick my purples, I picked the Lammy Dark Lilac, but I also had these others that are very different purples that I wanted to do too, but I forced myself to choose. My other ones were Tender Purple, which is more of a little bit of a reddish purple. Lamy Crystal Azurite, which is more of a
blurple.
more of a bluish purple. Tons of sheen.
Yes.
And then Irishizuku Murasaki, whatever it was pronounced that I said earlier in the show.
Reminds me, somewhere between the two, the Azurite and the Murasaki.
This one
reminds me of African violets.
It reminds me of crocuses.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
like such a spring color to me. And I love all of these. And they're all very different.
Shall I pick one?
Yes.
All right. Oh, this one's for you.
For me? Why?
Laura, here's the question I mentioned at the Baltimore, Washington International Pen Show.
Okay, yes.
What Japanese brands have these features? Snapcap,
This question.
gold nib,
Uh-huh.
a Snapcap and gold nib. Bonus points if it's greater than or equal to a number 6 nib. Snapcap seems to be more prevalent in German, French, and Italian brands. Vacuum or piston-filled demonstrators get extra points. My dream pen would be a Pilot Custom 823 clear demonstrator with a snap cap sporting a fine or even better extra fine nib. Sadly, an extra fine nib on an 823 is made of unobtainium.
So this was not something I had thought about, but
No,
he
it's
is totally right. When I tried to solve this question, I had so much trouble. Every snap cap idea I came up with was non-Japanese, except for one pen. And it does not have a large nib.
Right.
So it doesn't quite fit, but almost.
Doesn't get the bonus points.
So I got it right here. It comes in a few different designs. This pen is called the Platinum Classic Maquille. And it's got a snap cap.
And
I
gold
should do it
nib.
here.
Nice little
Gold
ASMR
nib.
moment.
It's a small pen, though. It's really beautiful. It comes
really
in a
is.
few different designs with hand-painted maquille,
18
but it's
karat
not
nib.
extremely expensive like most maquille pens are. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a nice pen. But that was literally the only one I could find
Yeah.
that we carry that fit his criteria.
I understand.
So, yeah.
Clark Fralick
Okay.
said, "Thank you two for another great show. What is your process for coming up with ideas for your show? Do you have a plan, or does the content come from what's happening in the community? So here's things we've learned in the 11 episodes that we've been doing this.
Yes.
Laura needs planning for peace of mind.
Yes.
I can typically wing it and be fine.
And you like to come up with ideas at the last second.
I certainly
and
do.
And I like time to think about it.
Which you certainly do.
Yeah.
We're opposites in very many ways. And yet we still make this show work.
We do.
So we have a planning session a week before we film. And then we film, photograph, and edit all in a 2-day time span. And I know it's a quick turnaround and it sounds insane.
It is insane.
It is insane. But that's what we found works for getting you the most up-to-date content we can.
Yeah.
And it works. I mean, it works for my ADHD procrastination brain. It soothes that. And so far, you've been able to plan some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And successfully.
Yeah. And as for, like, the general question of how do we plan, I don't know. We just sort of... I don't know.
Yeah.
That's hard to answer.
It is.
We just sort of brainstorm and have managed to come up with ideas so far. We don't have like a master plan, like a show that's all plotted out for 25 seasons.
Exactly.
Anything like that.
No.
We kind of make it up as we go along.
Exactly. It's like that Toy Story quote. It's not flying, it's falling with style. We're doing the best we can with style. Well, that was a fun mailbag episode.
That was cool. I think we should do that again.
I think so. As you notice, we're dressed differently.
We are.
Thanks to the tricks of movie magic, we've bounced forward today.
Yes.
We recorded everything yesterday in an attempt to be silly, but full disclosure, Laura and I aren't feeling well.
Yeah, I have a cold.
Yeah, and it's hard to muster a certain level of silliness when you're not feeling your best. So, because we are for your penjoyment, joy isn't always silly. Joy can be calm, thoughtful,
That's right.
much like a poem. Friend of the show and customer, Eric Arnold, wrote us a beautiful poem. Not us, the two of us, but to the ladies of Pen Boutique.
Yes.
To all the fun folks that work there. And with his permission, Laura is going
Thank
to
you, Eric.
read that for you right now. And I thought it was a beautiful poem, and I wanted to share it with the world.
Yeah, when I opened this poem, the first time I read it, I just opened the envelope and I read it without reading it silently ahead of time, out loud to Layla. And she was visibly moved at the end of the poem. And yes, it's a very powerful poem. Just listen to the whole thing. It's really, really an amazing poem. And I also read it to Lauren later, and she really, really liked it too.
Yeah.
So it's very special, and we really appreciate that Eric took the time to write a piece of poetry for us.
So without further ado, we'll take it away, Laura.
Wonder, an ode to the ladies of the Pen Boutique. My mind wanders sometimes, and then it wonders, not frequently, as I am not a speculator, but still, there are only a few of them that I know. Their knowledge is deep and specific. They have a light touch, but a heavy sense. They offer their instruments for us to test and try, and they wait patiently for our decision. They are the purveyors of writing instruments. Muses. We make a decision based on who knows what criteria: color, haptic feedback, cost, fashion, prestige. We choose a nib size, extra fine or falcon, journal or fude, stub. We pick an ink, wet, dry, sheen, shimmer and color, shade and tone, all of which have meaning to us in some deep, inexplicable way. Sometimes it matches the pen. Other times it is disparate. For some, these decisions are critical, and there is churn and dwell time, vacillation. For others, it is quick and easy, one and done. Regardless, the patience of the purveyors of writing instruments abides. But then we go, instrument and ink in our hands, and leave them behind. What happens then? Do they wonder? Is the Fude dip pen used to painstakingly craft love letters with scarlet ink? Or is the writer's blood used to craft stories of horror and misery with a stub nib? Dream journals in indigo, or contracts signed in stark professional black with a pen of great prestige? Heartfelt letters flung across the globe, or mundane grocery lists lost neath the car seat. They send these pens out into the world like children, entrusted to the hands of strangers, not knowing what the ink that spills out of them will say, or do, or cause. It is, in the end, an act of great courage and one of hope. I'm going to use my new pen to write them a thank you note, or perhaps this poem. What about you?
Again, I want to thank Eric for the beautiful poem.
Yes.
For me, I don't know about you, but for me, it was nice to feel seen in that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's so thought-provoking because I honestly had never really thought that deeply about what happens when people buy a pen. Where does it go? I mean,
I often wonder, will you use this for good? You know, what art will you put out into the world?
Yeah.
You know, and the poem captured that perfectly.
And he was so perceptive about, like, the transactions that happen between people that come in. And sometimes it's really fast. Other times people take a long time. And there's so much variation in there. And, and it's just fascinating to think about.
He's very observant.
He is.
So, why did we share this poem with you? Well, I would like to use this poem as an all call for submissions.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and put our address up as well as in the description. Feel free to write us a letter. Tell us your thoughts.
Doesn't have to be a poem, but you know what? April is National Poetry Month.
So if you want to write us a little haiku, a little For Your Penjoyment poem, please feel free to do so. Tell us what pen you're using, what ink you're writing with, where you're from, and we'd be happy to read it at the end of the show.
And it doesn't have to be a poem.
Yeah.
One thing that I really appreciated about Eric's, he sent it written in fountain pen and told us what the ink was and everything. But because Eric's handwriting is quite hard for me to read, he was kind enough to also include a typed translation.
It was very kind of him.
Appreciated that. Yes.
So with that, we're going to end this episode here. I want to encourage you to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification button so you'll get notified when we make our next upload. I want you to keep writing.
Please.
And until next time, take care.
Bye.
Bye.